Hi, I'm Matthew Watson, founder of Kunning Kobold Hobbies.
The Kunning Kobold is a hobby shop located in the small town of Pukekohe, around 60 kilometres south of New Zealand's largest city, Auckland.
Why did I want to open a hobby shop? Well, I was mostly just sick of driving all the way into Auckland whenever I wanted to pick up a pot of paint or there was a new kit in stock. There's nearly an hour's travel between me and the next one. So I thought, how hard could it be? Apparently kind of hard. If I'm honest, I went into it not thinking that I'd actually be able to start it up in the first place. So that sort of caught me off guard that I was able to not only set it up, but a year down the line, it's still going. It turns out Games Workshop's quite happy to have a small hobby shop supply for them. I was honestly expecting a bunch of hoops to jump through or some stacks of paperwork. Obviously there's things that I had to do to gain their trust and allow them to stock it, and there's things that I have to do to keep that, but it turned out a little bit easier than I initially anticipated. Yeah, after the first few months I sort of figured out a system to help me keep on track in terms of the stock that I've got in shop and the stock that I need to be bringing in. Started to notice some patterns among what was selling and what wasn't, and sort of refined it a wee bit, and I'm excited to see how that goes in the future. Well, I'm hoping to eventually move into a proper business area along the main street of Pukekohe within maybe 2 to 3 years, and I'm also hoping to expand my range into other boxed games, tabletop games, and even card games. But I honestly can't be sure at this stage, and I sort of have to take things sort of month by month, because it turns out a lot of them are all stocked by the same company. So as it comes into New Zealand, that company picks it up and then redistributes it. So I work through them for a lot of that. In terms of close by competition, I don't think I have anything too close. Obviously, Mighty Ape is able to sell throughout the entire country. But in terms of another brick and mortar store, I wouldn't say that there's really any competition at the moment. My job before this was as sales manager for my father's painting company, and I'm still doing that currently as the shop is sort of becoming more self-reliant, and hopefully someday I'll be able to drop that and do this full time. Yeah, I'd say I've been playing for about 15 years now. Obviously had no idea what I was really doing back then. Still don't to some degree, as it's sort of an evolving game. I'm still mad about that. Spreading the word of the shop wasn't that hard, actually. I basically put an advert out on Facebook announcing a opening day, and the wargaming community in Pukekohe noticed it, and they all showed up, and I've seen a lot of support from them since, so I'm really thankful for that. To get the shop ready to open, I'd say at least 2 to 3 weeks of just manual labor getting it ready down here, putting up jib and plastering. In terms of financing it, it took me most of my savings to get up and running. Most of the first COVID quarantine definitely affected us, not nearly as badly as other companies would have been, obviously, but there is a lot of a social aspect to just the hobbies in general. It meant that we couldn't host D&D games or any of the 40k matches that we wanted, or Magic the Gathering even. But people were still able to come in and purchase items with a no contact drop off. So financially it didn't hurt us too much, but socially it definitely did.
I have 10 minutes.
Stop moving, man.
I know, I'm trying to find the
The tape measure, of course, it's missing. It's always missing.
Did I think about giving up? I did. If I'm brutally honest, I've thought about it a few times since I've started, but Rome wasn't built in a day, and I figured that perseverance will see me through in the end.
After talking to the owner, I decided to talk to a couple of the customers as well, Simon and Matt.
I have known Matt for, it must be over 10 years at this point. I met him by falling through a window, and there was a shop here, and he locked me in and made me buy product.
I found out about the shop through my partner who saw it on Facebook and ordered it to me because I've been into Warhammer and tabletop gaming kind of on and off for about 25 years.
I have been doing this style of hobby. When was the Two Towers released? That's when I got my first White Dwarf. It was like, what, 8 years ago? Yeah. So yeah, easily a decade.
I've been a customer at the Kunning Kobold for, I think, at the start of just before Christmas. I found out about it and been a customer ever since.
Yeah, Steam Forge?
Yeah, those are the Steam
Yeah.
Forge ones.
I got their Dark Souls models. Bloody good.
I have been a customer of the Kunning Kobold since before it opened. I have been here a while. I might actually have been its first customer? I have to get that fact checked, but yeah.
When I heard that there was a hobby shop being opened in Pukekohe, I was quite excited because it was something that I was interested in and I thought it was a market that needed to be filled.
Well, when I heard there was a hobby shop opening in Kunning Kobold, I was just like, well, at least I don't have to explain to my parents why all these packages keep showing up in the mailbox every day. Every day. And they're like, what's happening with your bank account? I'm like,
When I found out it was going to be opened and you know, in a small town with all the small businesses around, I did think initially it might be difficult, but I did think that there was quite a lot of interest in the area.
did I think it was smart opening a small business in Pukekohe, the land of small businesses? Yeah. Yeah, there was not exactly another model shop around. Did I think it was smart opening in COVID? No. God, no.
I'd choose the Kunning Kobold over other shops, mainly because the atmosphere is good and I've been able to like order whatever I want in. It's like, it ticks all the boxes.
The reason I picked the Kunning Kobold as my go-to shop is for a couple of reasons. One, I live above it. The other reason is I get discounts sometimes. And, you know, a tab.
All my armor on 12 damage.
Not the armor
To its body with a crossbow bolt.
That's probably pretty close.
That's automatically
Pretty close.
I didn't think the shop would go under based on the fact that it seemed like they had a good idea on what they were doing and basically their commitment and interest in what they were doing. They believed in what they were doing.
Did at any point I think the Kunning Kobold was going to go under? No. It all seemed to be chugging along pretty smoothly with some smart financial decisions. Yeah, no, it definitely went a lot smoother than I thought it would, especially in the year 2020.
I expected the shop to last not more than a year, but actually expand. I think the Kunning Kobold has the potential to grow and become a main business in Main Street if we wanted to.
Where do I think the Kunning Kobold's going to be going in the next couple of years? Hopefully not too far. I don't want to walk too far, but I think it's only good things in the future. Fingers crossed.